Get it done one more time before she hands the gavel over to the Tan Man. For more, let's bring in Congressman Elijah Cummings of Maryland. He sits on the Oversight and Joint Economic Committees. Congressman, good to have you with us tonight. This is going to be a terribly important session. You have got a lot of members coming back who are going to see their jobs end because they were defeated. Is Nancy Pelosi going to be able to reel them in and get them to vote the progressive agenda in this short period of time in the lame duck session? What do you think?
I think Ms. Pelosi, who is a great leader, will have a lot of success. The problem is going to be at what the Senate does. Clearly, we have got to pass unemployment benefits because we've got about 2 million people who are about to lose their benefits.
So you will do that in the House? You think you'll get the unemployment benefits done in the House?
I know, absolutely. Okay. We've got to get it done.
And how about the tax cuts?
I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Many of us are urging Ms. Pelosi to make sure we vote on not extending the upper class tax cuts and making sure that the middle class tax cuts remain. And that's the vote that we really, really want. And if anybody can do this, it's Nancy Pelosi. What
would be the cutoff number? $500,000, $250,000, $1 million, like Senator Schumer is talking about over in the Senate? Where do you think that line would be drawn?
I'm not sure exactly where it'll be at, but I think there may be some compromise. But again, I mean, Senator Warner had a very interesting proposal, and then certainly Senator Schumer did too. But clearly, perhaps maybe 500,000, maybe a little less than that. But I think we ought to be able to find some kind of compromise on this. I just don't want to see the tax cuts for the riches of the rich extended for another 2 or 3 years. But again,
you think that's a political trap? I mean, if they extend it for a couple of years, because you're going to be back having the same conversation in 2012.
Ed, you took the words right out of my mouth. That's what I'm so concerned about, that we'll be having the same battle again and again, that we will have lost revenue that we desperately need. And, you know, the interesting thing, Ed, is that that really baffles me is how I know that we're going to have to fight, for example, for unemployment benefits for people who are down and out and will not have a decent holiday. On the other hand, we have our Republican friends fighting to give the riches of the rich tax cuts. So, I mean, you know, something's got to give. But again, I'm glad that you, Ed, have stood up for Speaker Pelosi.
I think she's terrific.
She's phenomenal.
And I think that she'll be as good or better minority leader as she was a majority leader. I mean, the benchmark has been set. You passed over, what, 240 bills, and then they sat over in the Senate. So getting things done has not been her problem. But the issue now is going to be with the American people, with, I think, the progressive community. Why not let the tax cuts just expire and put the ball in the Republicans' court and make them come back and do something and hang it on them? What about that?
I think that may not be a bad idea. We just got to strategize this thing, Ed, keeping in mind what the Senate may or may not do, but knowing our Speaker, she will fight for what she thinks is best and what she thinks is right. And I do think in the end, Ed, folks will look back on her speakership and realize what a great speaker she has been. The other thing to keep in mind, and I hope that our Republican friends will keep this in mind, and that is that people don't want us to be worried so much about who we're fighting against, but they want us to worry about who we should be fighting for. And that's our middle class, our people who are struggling, the people in my district who are losing their homes, their jobs. That's what they don't, I mean, all of this bickering up here on Capitol Hill, that doesn't mean anything to them. But they want solutions to problems, and hopefully we'll be able to accomplish that.
Congressman, our show in recent shows has focused on some of the reckless comments that Darrell Issa has been talking about how many hearings, how many investigations, what he thinks of President Obama, accusing him just last week of taking stimulus money for political payback and spreading it around the country. You think he's serious, and do you think that this is a real danger to the Obama administration?
I think Mr. Issa is very serious. He's a good friend, but I know he's serious. And I was just talking to some members of our committee today, and Ed Towns and others, and Kucinich, and we're going to have to fight back. I think he has gone across the line calling this president corrupt. Even when we were going through difficulties with President Bush, you never heard members of our committee calling President Bush corrupt.
Who's going to be the ranking member? Are you up for that? Would you take that job?
Clearly, Mr. Towns is the ranking member. I support him, and he will be the ranking member.
Okay. Congressman Elijah Cummings, always a pleasure. Great to have you with us tonight.
Good to be with you, Ed.
You bet.